What's up, blockchain? This is Nick from Truth Blitz. Hope you guys are having a good one. I'm going to talk about something pretty important and pretty scary in a few minutes, but let's just take a look at the market first. And we have a little bit of a recovery. Bitcoin dominance continues to drop 43.5% as we see money flow into the alts. Overall market cap 269, just shy of 270 billion. And Bitcoin is at 6,923. As you can see, we got a lot of green. This one, most excited about right here. This is probably hands down my favorite project, my favorite asset, EOS number 6 on CoinMarketCap. And that is up to $7.12, up 17.96%. I just bought a little more about a week ago, man, and I was hoping the price would drop a little lower so I could buy more. I ended up buying a ton of OMG, way more than EOS, and unfortunately, OMG has really, you can see it's only up 1.85%. So I'm sure that'll turn around and see another spike. It always does. But I wish I had bought more EOS instead to kind of add to my portfolio. And you can see we have an article here on CoinDesk. EOS leads pack as top 10 cryptos see price upticks. So this is where we're actually, this says we're at 19.42% is what it says, $7.21. So it's actually gone up a little more. If I refresh this, yep. So it's continuing to climb. Look at that, straight up. So if we take a look at the chart, you can see Crypto Blood is drawn in a wedge, and we're kind of just trading in that wedge. Right now, it does seem like we are kind of narrowing the range of where we're trading, and we're coming up to a critical moment. Will history repeat itself and we see a strong Q2 for Bitcoin? That remains to be seen. Historically, that has happened in more years since Bitcoin has been around than not, when we saw a weak Q1 and then a strong Q2. So, I guess it's something we're going to have to wait and see. We could trade in here and then drop, or we could make a strong bullish move up. So it's still kind of early to tell. So we will continue to monitor that. Quickly, I want to just touch on this. I talked about this yesterday, and 22 countries sign a declaration for European blockchain partnership. The European Commission, or EC, this is what I talked about, has led to the signing of a declaration to create a European blockchain partnership made of 22 countries, according to an April 10th European Commission press release. During yesterday's speech, the EC Vice President called on Europe to become a leader in digital technologies by working on blockchain innovation as well as artificial intelligence development. The press release reads that the partnership will be a vehicle for cooperation amongst member states to exchange experience and expertise in technical and regulatory fields and prepare for the launch of EU-wide blockchain applications across the digital single market for the benefit of the public and private sectors. So, again, we see countries coming together, pro-crypto, pro-blockchain, and it will benefit those countries greatly. Whereas us here in the US have really not gotten to that point yet. We would rather try to fight it and control it and make it so the big boys, the elites, can benefit off of it. But we have to protect you, the little guy. we have to protect you from yourself. So we need to regulate this and make sure that it is hard for you to get in. You can't get in unless you make $200,000 a year and are accredited. And you don't see them doing that with anything like gambling or, you know, lottery tickets, right? That's gambling. Anybody can do that. Anybody can go buy those as long as they're 18. But when it comes to crypto, sorry guys, too much chance for you to lose your money. We can't let you do anything with your own money. And that's just the way it looks right now. That's how it is. And that is why the decentralized exchange will become paramount, right? Once we get to that point, and we are nearing that point where decentralized exchanges kind of surpass centralized exchanges in popularity, in volume, in use, and they're all being developed right now and worked on as we speak. So once we get to that critical point, I believe personally that these regulatory bodies will realize that it is not as easy as they had anticipated to regulate us out of the crypto space. And that is just my belief. Again, this is a decentralized movement. And this is why I'm against centralized blockchains and centralized crypto, right? Such as Ripple and so on and so forth. You know, any of these talked about central bank coins, you know, that they're talking about, these central bank DLTs, you know, I'm not for that. So, you know, it is, I'm not saying it's easy to go and start a decentralized exchange, but it's easy enough to where, you know, if you have somebody with the capability to write the code for that, and launch it, then you can circumvent these regulations in their attempts to try to keep us out. And that is really what it comes down to. So moving on to an important topic, I don't watch JSnip4's videos really, but I am still subscribed to his YouTube channel, and he put out a video today that I want to talk about because this is a real problem. Talking about how there have been attempts to clone his phone, to hack his phone, so that the hacker can then try to take control of or hack into his exchange accounts and steal his crypto. This has been happening to me lately as well. Okay, there have been people trying to get my phone number through various means, scam emails. Just, you can tell right off the bat without a shadow of a doubt that it's a scam. Very broken English emails, but with a very American name the guy's claiming to have, telling me to call them at such and such number so that I can help them with something and they'll pay me big money in Bitcoin or whatever the case is. Now, there are other things that have been happening to me as well that all point to that. And what I'm going to tell you is, and these are steps that I've taken early on and that I suggest everybody take. Number one, don't keep crypto on an exchange. That's first and foremost. Number two, do not use the same email address for your phone, you know, when you set up your phone initially, as your exchange, right? Your exchange accounts. That's another big one. You can even go as far as, like I did, I use a separate phone altogether. I have a backup phone that I've had and I use that for. This isn't my phone that I use every day. My main phone. I actually never even use this one except for two-factor authentication, or if I needed to have an emergency phone. I used to let my daughter use it sometimes, or leave it for her if we had to run out. But I use a separate phone and separate phone number altogether for my two-factor, my Google Authenticator. That's another big one. Now, JSnip4 said he had tried to tell Verizon to not let anyone change out his phone unless he showed up at the Verizon store or office in person with identification, and they still managed to do that. Now, they actually changed out his phone and disconnected his phone and changed it to a new one. So these people are getting very crafty. They are finding ways to hack into people's phones, to clone people's phones so that they can, and if they get your phone, they can change your email password. It's not that hard with Google, right? So it's a good idea to not use a Google email address. My Exchange account is not on a Gmail or a Yahoo email address. I'm not going to say what I use, but it's on let's just say it's on a paid email service. Well, I'll just put it that way. So there are steps you can take. Now, even if they manage to clone your phone and your email, if you have two-factor, it's still going to be very, very hard for them to get in to your Exchange account. So make sure you guys are using two-factor authenticator, right? Google Authenticator or whatever. Very important. Anybody who is not using a 2FA is really asking for it. And the simplest thing to do is just don't leave crypto on an exchange. Hardware wallet is the way to go. So, I've talked about hardware wallets and how they have some vulnerabilities. I've talked about the Ledger vulnerabilities compared to the Trezor vulnerabilities. And with Trezor, unless, I don't know, I'm sure Ledger has probably taken steps to patch their JavaScript issue where people could change out the receiving address. That was an issue that they had. But with Trezor, unless somebody physically steals your Trezor, they can't hack it. And that was an issue with the chips that Trezor used, where you could take it apart, jump some pins, and supposedly go in and get the seed and the pin number. I think that's what it was. I'd have to look back, and I don't remember fully, but the point of all this is just whatever steps extra you can think of to to give yourself extra security, do that. If your exchange has IP address whitelisting, take advantage of that. I fully suggest doing that. These threats are real. People are trying to do this, and I just really don't want to see anybody get screwed out of their crypto. I've had also people leaving comments on my videos. This is kind of doesn't have to do with this, but I've had people spamming the comment section of my videos with scam websites to try to scam people into fake ICOs. Nobody ever do that, okay? I need to go through and delete those comments. But if anybody posts any links to anything where you need to send your Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever on any of my videos, just disregard those. And I know most of you are smart enough to do that. And I'm not saying if anybody falls for that, you're not smart. But, some people may be you know, a little more naive. And I don't want to see anybody get taken advantage of. So anyway, guys, that's it for now. Just take whatever steps extra you can to ensure your security, because these hackers and these scammers are relentless and they will do anything they can to screw us over. So that's it for now. I will talk to you guys soon. Make sure you guys are subscribed over at the Block Party Podcast channel. We got another episode coming out this weekend. That's going to be an awesome episode. And I'll talk to you guys soon.